This review is of the ProtMex PT6252B, not the A, which they're almost the same thing, but one of the features that this has is that you can connect it to your computer and use their software, which comes on a small mini CD, to download the data onto your computer or tablet or whatever. It measures air velocity and airflow. You can also put in the two-dimensional area of the duct. You cannot do three-dimensional, so it's kind of stupid. That's one of the bad things about it. It doesn't allow you to actually put in the volume. It only allows you to put in length and width. But you multiply it and then you just put that number in. You can hold the data so it isn't recording anything. You can have it detect the maximum only or the minimum only, and it does have a choice of different measurements, as you can see from the image here. It has feet per minute, cubic feet per minute, cubic meters per second, cubic meters per minute, and that is for, I believe, velocity. And then for flow or airflow, it's knots, feet per second, feet per minute, meters per second, kilometers per hour, and miles per hour. It also constantly will keep track of temperature, so you can do dew point temperature, wet bulb temperature, or ambient temperature. It also will keep track of the humidity, relative humidity, over here on this side. And that's most of what it offers. You can see over here that the age for hold, max and min, that'll show up. This package comes complete with a few items, and here's the information about the measurement range and accuracy, which is not actually accurate itself, and air temperature and humidity on this one also, as I said, and then USB data interaction. All right, and it has a 1-year guarantee, made in China. Comes in this nice I don't know, nylon, I guess, case. Has a little pocket here where the manual is, and it comes with a data cable, so you can connect it to your USB. Oh wait, this is yeah, that particular type of connector. So if your computer or tablet or whatever doesn't have this, you'll need to get a different cable. Also comes with a heavy-duty battery, Panco, which I've never heard of. Then again, this was made in China. And you cannot directly connect this to, say, a tripod. However, it does have this, which you can connect to a tripod. And then this is a clamp that you can adjust the size of, so you can clamp that on there and then stick that on there, or have it whichever direction you want it to be. You don't need it if you don't want to. The software is on here. And then let's see what else. Not much else. Oh yeah, it does come with a screwdriver, which I have misplaced. The battery compartment is here. It is pretty tight. You do have to work a little bit hard to actually open up the battery compartment. Okay, so all you need is a rather smallish Phillips head if you lose your screwdriver like I did, and you can get it open. And again, you do have to kind of pry open from here with your fingernail or something like that. It's not too hard, and putting it in is a little bit difficult. You do, of course, match up the poles, so the larger one goes on the right side. And if you try to put it in this way, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't have enough give. So you actually have to do it in the counterintuitive way of putting it in like that. I'm going to close it up now. All right, so now we can see that it is measuring the temperature and also the humidity. And we can set it to hold. We can change the mode. There are some other things that I haven't mentioned that it can do. Now, let's go ahead. Right now it's set on velocity, and you can have it check for the maximum. You can have it check for the minimum. When it is set to one of these, you cannot switch the function. Okay. If you want to set the two-dimensional area, you click on function once, it'll take you to area. and you can put in the number. Now I was measuring that area, and then that is specifically for flow, and so you can do units, CMS, CMM, like I showed you on the other screen. It has those 3. Go back to velocity, it has those 6. And also you have a backlight if you need it. It does warn in the manual that eats up a lot of electricity. And this is also for connecting to the USB. So what do I think of this product? Well, I'm returning it. The truth of the matter is I got 2 of these. I got the first one, and I was doing testing of computer fans with it. And while I was doing testing, I suddenly noticed over and over again, I started to get these erroneous readings, and I'd be baffled by them. And I thought, well, I must have made a mistake, you know. And so I would go back and I'd redo it, and it would be better. And so I thought, oh yeah, I must have just not been paying attention, and I must have made some kind of error. And okay, so I was, continuing on, and this happened repeatedly. And then I was watching this to see what kind of readings I was getting, and I saw readings that were within the correct range. And then suddenly I saw a reading that was at least 4 times outside the range, or 4 times greater than it should have been, I guess I should say. And this happened a few times also. And finally, I was just frustrated because it was not accurate. And also, when I was measuring low airflow, it has too much the vane has too much resistance, and that resulted in it not turning when it should have turned, and that was frustrating. Now this one, when you turn it, it eventually stops, and that's not actually a good thing. You can see that it doesn't turn very freely, and that's because of the extra resistance that it has. So this is not good for low airflow or low velocity, or whatever you want to call it. It won't read it once it gets below a certain point. So this is getting returned, and Amazon sent me a replacement because Amazon's great about that. Not so great as an employer, but great as a place to get stuff. But I will tell you that in looking for an anemometer, I discovered that a lot of manufacturers sell their anemometers cheaper than Amazon does. So you might want to look off of Amazon. So even though I'm an employee, I'm not going to steer you wrong. So I got my replacement today, and I started testing it. And as soon as I turned it on and paired it with a fan, I started to hear this rubbing noise. And I couldn't tell if it was coming from within the hub or if it was the vanes scraping against the ring here. All I did figure out was that if I can get the vanes parallel to the ground, then it stops, or if I lean it forward, it stops, which kind of suggests to me that either this ring is bigger in the front than in the back, or more likely that the rubbing was happening within the hub. But I don't really know. So when I was testing, I was looking at the readings, and when I discovered that by putting it this way, that rubbing stopped, the maximum reading that I was recording instantly jumped a significant amount. And so that was it for me. I was so done with it. So I'm actually returning both units tomorrow because there's a problem with accuracy. There's a problem with quality. By the way, for the volume that you or the area that you're going to record, not only is it only 2-dimensional, but you can only record 1. So if you are checking, if you're like doing HVAC work and you're checking multiple locations, you're going to discover that you're going to have to keep track of the area of each location on paper, because this does not allow you to record multiple areas. And that's, I think that's probably common on many anemometers. But yeah, I think for if you're doing work on high flow areas, this will be great. If you're trying to measure like really low flow of wind outside or in HVAC or computer fans like I'm doing, this is not going to be a good choice. But again, it does have accuracy problems, and one of the two, I mean, 50-50 chance here, one of the two also had the rubbing that reduced the accuracy as well. So for me, this is a no-go. And, you know, personally, it's a $50 meter, and I guess if you don't care too much about accuracy and you just want something that'll give you a general idea, it's okay. But if you're a professional or you have exacting standards like I do, it's not worth $50. Yeah. So I'll give this, you know, I really had high hopes for this. And in the respect that it measures several different things, you know, 3 different kinds of temperature plus humidity, airflow, and velocity, it's great, but there are too many problems with it that are unfixable. So, and I don't want to have to constantly lean it forward to measure the velocity and flow of a fan. And I'm sure that somebody working in HVAC is not going to want to do that either. So I would not recommend this. I will give it a 4. Thank you very much for watching, and hope you have a great day.